We are back, episode 7 of the Bickering Podcast. Bit of a break due to technical difficulties, both with equipment and my face. So I've had that tooth removed, finally. And it's like heaven.
You're a new man.
Oh, it's completely... All my anxieties in life are gone. It's like the, old Greek thing with Samson, where he lost his hair. Was that Roman?
No, your situation would be the opposite.
Yeah,
of that.
he loses his power, I gain it.
Yeah, you gain it from the removal. Literally, you did have an infected...
Yeah, it was grim. It was like my whole February just wiped out.
Yeah.
Like, February 2018 was just a nothing month for me.
That's pretty awful.
Yeah. But, and then had that removed and then went to a wedding. Went to my brother's wedding, so that was great.
And we tried to get 2 out for...
We tried to.
It just did not work.
No, they didn't work. But no, we're back. Back with the international jet setter, Chase Miller.
Hello.
Nice to see you again. You haven't been too healthy yourself, have you, as well?
No, I've had some kind of respiratory illness, I believe is really nice.
Man flu.
Yeah, well, actually it wasn't that bad. Wouldn't dare call it man flu.
I call it everything man flu. Yeah. I wake up a bit tired.
It's just nice because when you say flu, you can generally get some sort of sympathy out of somebody, but if you just say you're ill, they're like, eh.
Or it's like, I've got a cough, and everyone's like, well then cough and continue doing what you're doing.
It's like every time I cough though, it's like sandpaper.
Yeah,
you don't
exactly.
get anything out of it. Yeah, so that took me out for about a week. And just like in the house the entire time. It's horrible. Have
you noticed whenever you tell anyone that you're ill, their instant reaction is, oh, there's a lot of that going around.
Like, oh, that makes me feel better.
Yeah, it's like, okay, cool. Honestly, I don't think I've ever told someone I'm ill without someone going, oh, I know someone else who's ill. And it's like,
whoa,
okay, cool.
We have a lot in common.
Yeah, sure, let's hang out more. But yeah, so a few delays back and forth, but I feel like we're getting back into the swing of things now.
We also live about 4 miles apart. Or whatever. I guess it's only 2, but
yeah, that's the thing. You've moved house, haven't you?
Without an automobile, it's a bit difficult.
Yeah, modern plight for 20-something.
Yeah, it's so horrible.
It really is. Honestly, like...
really the problem is there's no direct bus line from the Baltic to Fairfield.
Oh yeah, just give away where I live, to all the
It's
stalkers.
the Baltic! You could be anywhere in that whole triangle.
I know, to be honest, if I did have
Just as I could be anywhere in Fairfield.
If I did have a stalker, they could find me in a heartbeat. Like, I'm pretty sure Instagram pictures, you could just sort of like... triangulate where I was.
Have you taken pictures out of your window?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're screwed, dude.
Yeah.
They might not be able to get direct window, but it'll be like within 3 floors. Have you seen those like 4chan things?
Which ones?
Well, it's not like doxing, right? It's different. It's like people that are just super intelligent at like Photoshop and stuff can like use a bunch of your pictures, and then he took it from this location, this location, this location. They get like reflections of the sun, like time of day you posted the picture, and they can figure out basically within 2 floors like where your room is.
Fuck off.
Yeah, they've done it to a few people.
Oh no. Oh, that's horrifying. Mm-hmm. Honestly, man,
I don't know if
that takes a special
I haven't seen enough
devoted.
Yeah, well, that's like that's the devotion from a stalker that I think we all really want.
It's what we all crave. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The further we get into the future, the more just technology-wise, I just feel like we're offering too much to weird people. Well, if that makes sense. Like, those deep fakes I was talking about.
No, explain that again.
Oh yeah, so basically, it's this program that some guy somewhere created, where if you take a load of different pictures of one person, then they can sort of make this computer-generated movement of...
And now they've made pornography with like a bunch of actresses.
Bunch of celebrities, yeah.
That's
like
so weird.
Cara Delevingne, Margot Robbie and all that.
Dude, maybe that's what Mother
weird.
Teresa was talking about when she said, too many pictures, you'll lose your soul. Something.
Yeah.
Maybe she was predicting the future.
Too many pictures and some 14-year-old jacks off to you. Like,
it's
man.
Well, there was that was it on the Graham Norton show when it was the late Carrie Fisher and Daisy Ridley were on the same show, and they were just interviewing all the Star Wars stars, right?
Yeah.
And I think Graham Norton had brought up like Leia or Carrie Fisher was like the first woman that most guys in their teens jacked off to during the 70s.
Oh yeah.
And Daisy Ridley was like freaking out, right? And Carrie Fisher just like turned to her and was like, "That's you next." And she was like, "Oh no!" But
God.
like that's worse for her because now her face is like in a porn.
Yeah, exactly.
It had nothing to do with it at all.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, I find that horrifying. Because there'll be some people who don't understand it, and they will actually think like, "Oh my God, there's Daisy Ridley from Star Wars shagging someone."
And especially,
like, don't get me wrong, it's not perfect.
Well, like, but like also.
By the way, I haven't.
Oh,
disclaimer.
Oh, yeah.
Disclaimer. No. They did one. They did one of Obama, but they managed to make his mouth move to make it look like he was saying Donald Trump stuff, and they mixed it with that new Adobe program that can mimic someone's voice. Like, you just give them... It's a similar thing. You give them, like, a load of audio of someone talking.
Right.
And then they can figure out how they're saying certain words and make them sort of say certain words. So, yeah, someone did, like, this Obama one saying Donald Trump's...
slogans and stuff.
Yeah. So it was, like... And yeah, as I said, it's not perfect, but it's like scarily close.
Well, the problem,
and the fact that it pretty much only just came out is kind of like, give that a few years, and media is going to change.
It's going to be virtual reality essentially.
But I mean,
you can you'll be able to download whoever you want to have sex with in virtual reality.
Oh God.
I mean that's not even unbelievable, right?
I know. Well, we covered that on one of our previous podcasts, didn't we? The whole putting AI into sex.
Like high school crushes. You're
Yeah,
gonna be able to go onto Facebook, get a selection of their pictures, put them in your virtual reality. It'll convert it into a model, and then you'll like fake have sex with a fleshlight on.
The thing that I find so incredible about all this, like, surely it's just easier to go out and sleep with someone.
No. Within 10 years, no. It'll be way easier to just
But these guys have been working on these programs for like... The guys creating the programs, I mean.
Sure.
Because they must be driven to make it by some sort of weird, like, I want this to happen to me sort of desire, you know?
Yeah,
like
getting back into the incel territory.
Yeah, because it definitely is. It
Yeah.
definitely is. But like, surely if you spend 5 years or however many years programming something to be able to like... virtual reality, have sex, just go out, and over that time there'll probably be someone, or like if you're that determined, you can probably work on your social skills a little more, maybe.
But that's the thing, they're not like, a person isn't determined to work on their social skills, they're determined to get laid.
Yeah, I guess there's a lot of people who are like...
It's hard work to work on your social skills.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are sort
It's
of
horrible.
like,
you have to get like rejected all the time. You have to deal with embarrassment. You have to be awkward and cringeworthy, which nobody is capable of doing anymore.
Yeah.
It's like The Office basically just ruined any kind of nuance to conversation, because anything that The American Office.
The American Office, yeah.
Ruined like any sort of subtlety in language where like, oh, a person presents an idea that's a little bit out of the blue. Awkward.
Yeah.
It's like, do you know what I mean?
See, I think the British Office is very different, where it's just like, they've said that and now it's silent, and the silence is golden.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like awkward, like, oh my God, my life's over. It's like people are doing this without knowing
but do you know what I mean?
Life's
like,
over. You know?
Yeah, so like, I don't know if this is, I have never seen the British Office just because it's like, I don't care. Oh, yeah. Spends 6 months in your country. Go fuck yourself. But it's like, in the American Office, anytime somebody says something that one of the other characters thinks is stupid, rather than like saying something to them to acknowledge that they're being stupid, they'll just look at the camera.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like...
The English Office does have that one guy called Tim, who does that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sort of like the voice of reason in this crazy world.
Crazy office world.
It's like I don't know. I saw this Buzzfeed video the other day, of them playing this game called something like Social Suicide or something like that, and it was all like using their social media accounts in some sort of like, people drew cards and it was like, put on Instagram a picture of and tag this person, and it was like, oh my god, I can't do that, oh my god, and it was like the most outrageous thing that someone posted a picture of their fist in someone else's mouth or something and tagged their ex-boyfriend. I was like,
whoa,
okay. Like, surely they're gonna see this video and whatever. Like, it's not that big a deal. Like, but no, to them it was like the biggest sort of, oh my god, this is my life over.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of feedback loop you live in when you're a writer at BuzzFeed.
Oh god, I don't even know. Because honestly, like
that's an imagined hell that I can see myself in.
Yeah. Like, honestly, do you know anyone who actually likes BuzzFeed?
I mean, dude, I don't talk to that many people in the first place. But
see, you're just a bitter man in the corner.
At the same time, it's weird because BuzzFeed, right, is mostly trash, but they also break some pretty large stories. I can't remember which one it was. I'm not going to be able to pull it up right now, but
yeah,
it was some whistleblower. They broke the story on BuzzFeed because they knew it would reach like a shit ton of people, right?
Surely the reaching a shit ton of people is all like 14-year-olds.
Nah, I don't think. I think you're quite.
I'm generalizing, obviously.
I think you're being more benevolent towards normal people.
Am I?
I don't know if that's being snobbish on my end, but like I don't think I don't think the readership is under the age of 16. I think it's quite art. I think it's millennial based for sure.
Yeah, because like so much of our stuff, I sort of watch and go, oh, like you're adults. Stop acting like that, you know. Like, well, and maybe that's just my sort of view on what like
BuzzFeed, right, is basically maybe not the creator, but they're the proliferator of the 5 best ways to
the
right.
list,
that's like their thing, and clickbait essentially comes from them as well. That doesn't come from them, but they're the ones that used it to extreme gain.
So much to thank them for. They ruined the internet for everyone. I mean, I guess they were trailblazers.
Yeah, well,
that, like.
You can't really blame somebody for using a mechanism like that when they realize it has such an effect.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
can you imagine being in like you or somebody that has a vote on the board of like a major website like that, and somebody tells you like, we've been running these articles with this formula, and they're just destroying likes and stuff. Like, it's just garnering all this attention every single time. Nobody on that board would be like, you know what, for the state of modern journalism, we should probably hold back on that.
Oh, of course. Again,
it's like, that's so ridiculous.
But then that just means it's all about money and views and stuff. Yeah, BuzzFeed are the first people to come out and be like, capitalism sucks. Also, what Nike trainer are you? It's so hypocritical, you know what I mean? Like, it's so... You're exactly the same as everyone else, but you got like a wacky edge. You know, it's kind of like Nickelodeon was doing. They were like, we're not Cartoon Network, we're Nickelodeon, we got some attitude.
It's so funny you mentioned that. Dude, this is like connections to the multiverse. I swear. Yeah. So I was reading this book.
I thought you were about to say I was reading the Bible.
Well, that was
the good book.
That was last week, sorry. Yeah, I would have said the good book. The Word is what I would have said. Yeah. So I was reading Confederacy of Dunces, which I highly recommend to anybody that wants a really good read. And he wanted to go to a Nickelodeon. So Nickelodeon is referring to an Odeon, like the Odeon here in Liverpool.
Like the cinema.
That was a nickel, and it would just run like 15-minute videos. So Nickelodeon based the name off of that because they were running cartoons that were like 15 minutes long.
I never knew that.
Yeah. Because he mentioned it in the book, and I was like, what the...
Yeah.
So I looked it up, and apparently they were super popular during, like, at the beginning of the century until full-scale movies, feature films came up. And apparently people, like, immediately started rushing to the cinemas because they had, like, cushy seats and you could get popcorn and stuff. Yeah. Whereas the Nickelodeons were, like, basically school chairs that you would get in school. They were like
Yeah,
really
yeah.
hard wooden chairs, but because you were only going to be there for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So that's why Nickelodeon, like, that's why they chose the name, is because the types of things that were showing were really short.
Yeah.
They were going to show 2 shows within 30 minutes, that kind of thing.
Isn't it amazing that their demographic would never get that?
I know.
You know,
Well, it's such a good name.
Yeah, yeah, like such a
Nick.
yeah, such a sort of clever getting to it, you know, and yeah, and it's just wasted on a bunch of children.
Nickelodeon's what I watched for like 6 years of my life, and
Yeah.
then it takes me another 15 years to figure out what that was even referring to in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh man, that's.
I don't even remember what we were talking about, but
No, well, we were talking about Buzzfeed. I don't know. Like, obviously, if they were trailblazers in the top 10 list formula, then fair play to them. But then,
they definitely weren't the only one there. Either,
yeah. But then it's just, you go on YouTube and every other video is like 10 things I hate about 10, and like that film 10 things I hate about you, that came out way before BuzzFeed.
Pretty good movie too. That was Heath Ledger.
Yeah, R.I.P.
That's a high school in Seattle too.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah.
Home state.
What's up?
Yeah.
Although it's in Seattle, so.
Is Seattle not Washington State?
No, it is, but
Yeah.
everybody else in the state doesn't really like the people from Seattle.
Oh, okay. the yuppies.
That's where yuppie like came from.
Yeah.
It's from Seattle.
Starbucks came from there.
Mm-hmm. Amazon. Yeah.
Wow.
Kirkland, Costco.
Wow.
Microsoft.
And well, not Chase Mill. Just outside.
Chase Bank.
No, Chase Mill. You. Just outside Seattle.
Yeah, a ways outside.
Yeah.
It's funny because like when you're within the state, I feel like a lot of people do whatever they can to avoid being associated with Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
But then you come over here, and the only way you can have some sort of national or like regional identity is to be like, it's near Seattle, and they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, true.
Like, okay, yeah, cool. I have an identity with you.
Yeah, I mean, England, it's kind of a bit simpler because we're a hell of a lot smaller.
Yeah.
So, but then even when I was in Morocco, I kept having to tell people, oh yeah, it's near London.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know,
but
4 hours
Essex
away.
is still way different than.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's only about 2 hours, I think. Yeah, well, but yeah, I've heard people even go like, oh yeah, Manchester, and they're like, is that near London? And it's like, well, I guess in comparison to what you have to go through, like.
Yeah, because if they know about football, they know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Same with Liverpool and.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Liverpool, Manchester, and London are probably the only two you know.
Saying that, dragging us back to BuzzFeed. Okay, so they didn't.
Oh God.
They would have no clue pinpointing where the cities were, because they thought like Wales was England and England was Northern Ireland and stuff, and it was like, can Americans name the British countries? And it was like, no. And it's like, I guess turn it back on me, I wouldn't be able to name exactly where all 50 states were. Then I don't even think all Americans.
There are 50 also.
Yeah, exactly. One, there's 50. Two, I don't think all Americans could do it. But then I sort of know that LA's on the West Coast, and you know, New York's New York's on the east.
Sort of know it's on the West Coast.
Yeah, New York's on the east, and like Milwaukee's sort of.
Most people only know that
Chicago,
because most people only know that because like the rivalry between the two cities. Is like,
I do mine through basketball. That's
yeah.
pretty, I know Western Conference, Eastern Conference.
That's pretty much how I learned geography when I was a kid. Yeah, it was like my mom always brings up this story, and I'm always like, oh gosh, I don't want to hear it. But she always brings up this story where like I would like, you know, when you're a kid you learn things just randomly, but basically I got NBA Live 99, and then like within 1 week I could name every single player on every single team, like where the cities were on a map and stuff.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's like video games are a great educational.
Yeah, I had the exact same thing happen to me at university. Like I had always been into basketball. I enjoyed playing it and everything. And like I sort of knew in the 90s what was going on with Jordan and all that, but then that was kind of
same. I
was too young to really understand that. And then I sort of came back into it when Shaq and Kobe were getting big and whatever. Anyway, around 2006 I stopped watching it and stopped paying attention. And then like 2014, I met a guy at university who was really into basketball as well. And yeah, I bought NBA 2K. And now, like, within just playing that, everyone, absolutely every team, now I'm like an avid fan again. I'm staying up like to watch NBA games. I'm catching up with the news every single day. And it's kind of like, yeah, that video game spurred that on, you know. It sort of reignited the interest. But then the thing I do find really funny is when people do that with FIFA. So they instantly like will say like, oh, player's really slow because they got like a low speed rating on FIFA, and then it's like they're actually in, you know, the top 10. It's just a terrible stat, you know. I was like, yeah, people just go, oh, he's not that good. He's not highly rated here. He's not. And it's like, mate.
Yeah, I mean, like,
you don't actually watch football, like.
Exactly, yeah. Because like, I mean, especially with FIFA, I don't think I've bought a current FIFA since 16, right? So I guess I'm 2 years off.
Yeah.
It's like the Premier League, I'm like way up to date on everything there. But like, since I haven't been playing FIFA concurrently with what's going on in the world, like I don't know the other leagues and all of their players anymore. I'm like on a previous operating system. So I mean, really, for my football knowledge, I need to be buying FIFA.
Yeah, true. Although FIFA is turning into trash nowadays, it's
it's so shite. I mean,
so bad.
I've played that game how many times? Like 10 times, and when we play together, we like visibly dominate whoever we're playing, and they'll just make one pass, and it's like a Lovren in the back. It just like goes straight through. And they kick it in, and they do their celebration. You just want to like murder somebody.
Oh yeah, they put the Paul Pogba dab in, and it's just made for just online trolling.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I'm dabbing on the haters.
Well, same with like in Rocket League with like the Grim Reaper dab. Just like, oh, when is this gonna die? It was like 2013 or 12 when it came out, and somehow it's just like.
Does Cam Newton still dab?
I don't know, but that's the thing.
I think he's given it up.
Well, it's probably
that was like his thing.
That was his thing, and then Pogba got it, and since Pogba's been so shite at United, it's sort of like gone down in its popularity.
But now Jake Paul's doing it, so it's up with all the kids. Jake Paul and Logan Paul, they're all about dabbing. So
I mean, this is like one of those times.
It's so close.
It's one of those times where an alien tribe from some planet comes down and visits us, and just like, it is the mocker of the people. They like dab in front of everybody, and everybody's just like, no.
But honestly, man, it is so weird when you see like all these Logan Paul fans and Jake Paul fans all like dabbing in like unison. Honestly, it is like the Nazi salute.
Yeah, it's quite cold.
It's like an opposite Nazi salute, you know.
Yeah, I guess you're Zeke Heiling away from yourself.
Yeah, because like that was the Nazi.
Maybe it's a stance against egoism.
I don't think it is, because the most egotistical people use it.
Yeah, that's true.
But, yeah, man, it's so scary watching how brainwashed they're getting those fans. Like, I know I've mentioned it before, but that Suicide Forest thing. Like, you know, the whole Logan Paul Suicide Forest. For those not in the know, basically, Logan Paul went to Japan. There was a dead body in a forest which is got the nickname as the Suicide Forest. And he found this dead body and he filmed with it, and him and his friends are sort of laughing about and not really sort of paying any respect to, you know, obviously the victim of suicide, someone's son, someone's father, brother, you know. Then he uploaded the video and sort of made it all about himself. He was like, this is the first for YouTube, you know. Obviously there was backlash. Like, obviously. You just don't do that shit. And then like all these kids came out in his defense and was like, you know, like one video I saw, I was like, if this is satire, this is amazing. But I don't think it is, because it is just this really young kid. He was like, I would do anything to get in Logan Paul's videos. That guy should be proud of being in Logan Paul's videos. And I was like, this kid is so young. The idea of what death is he hasn't, you know, he hasn't had that realization yet that death doesn't mean you're still just sleeping and
that it
conscious.
Might happen to him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. God.
It just might.
Yeah, exactly. But like,
actually, it may not, you know.
Oh God, yeah. Do you ever think like if you're the generation that like just misses out on when they suddenly?
Honestly, I think that is what's going to happen to our generation.
Yeah, like the day, like a week before you die, they're like, oh yeah, so we've just discovered the key to immortality.
What's going to happen is, this is my prediction. It's set in internet stone. So what's gonna happen?
So when you're long gone and this survives.
No, okay. What's gonna happen is immortality is going to. It's just an eventuality for biology. So it's possible. It's possible to do it. Not only like you will be able to either upload your consciousness digitally, or there'll be some way to increase to forever postpone telomerase. Hold on.
Okay.
It'll be possible with some kind of medication to forever postpone the shortening of the telomerase. Then what'll happen is it'll get invented for our generation when nobody wants to stay the age that they are.
Oh, yeah.
So then some people will do it and be like, I'm fine with being 60 for the rest of my life. But most people will be like,
yeah, God,
I want to be 20. I don't want to be 60 forever.
Yeah. See, you say that, Will. I did actually read this article which was saying that scientists believe they have determined like the absolute maximum age that human beings, that they'll be able to keep human beings
150, right?
Yeah, it's around that. So it's like that is the absolute maximum age that, you know, you'll be able to stretch something out before it just becomes too. Plus, it's what, 150? Who would want to be that old? Like it's not 150 and being like healthy. It's 150 and being sat in a chair all day pissing yourself. Like,
well, at 150, but if
like,
we continue like
if 120 is the new 80,
exactly, right?
So life really does begin at 40.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's the story of like mammals and humans, is that like the infancy period for us grows and grows because the difficulty and the complexity of modern life gets more and more advanced, right?
Yeah.
So like if people keep living longer, it literally will be 40 when you like move out from your parents, because everybody will have to have like a PhD to do anything.
It's getting to that stage now. Like,
yeah.
I myself am on a knife edge to moving back in with my parents.
Oh,
like,
stop it!
I'll stop at you. But honestly, like, it's becoming later and later that people are moving out. Like back in the day, it was like, you know, 18, you got married, you bought a house for like 50 quid, and you know, and it was all rosy, and you got set up. Nowadays, it is impossible.
It's like, okay,
I don't even have a car,
basically,
let alone a house, let alone, you know.
If you want to be independent and you're not, fussy about what you want to do with your life, it's super easy to be independent. Like you can just get a job and have a pretty comfortable life if you work at it, right?
Okay, I'm disagreeing with that, because it's not just like, oh, just go get a job.
No.
The job market is
what I'm saying is, well, okay, maybe here, sorry.
Yeah.
But like if you just put your mind to it, you want to be comfortable in life.
Yeah.
You can work towards that. But the infancy period for doing what you dream about is way longer now. Unless you're automatically gifted, or unless your start date is earlier than most people, right? Like,
yeah, I mean the Beatles were already pretty big at the age of 16.
Right. Well, and they lived in a time where you could go to Hamburg and just like that was German post-war. Like there weren't as many rules. You could just go there and like do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
So the infancy period for pursuing something that you truly want and will be maximally beneficial to humankind is much longer than it used to be, unless you are a genius, unless your parents put you on a path that you have never left.
So what age do I give up the Bickering press?
31.
31?
If it hasn't...
if it hasn't taken off. Which, it will.
It will. Obviously. Duh, dude. It's the power of positive thinking. It's the secret, bro. You just need to put your life on a map.
Honestly, if I was doing it for 6 more years and it hadn't, then I would start thinking there was something kind of wrong with me, because I'd be a bit like, why was I so committed to something going absolutely nowhere? Like, don't get me wrong, it's fun. It's something I enjoy doing.
But you do put a decent amount of work into it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know,
Well, there...
I kind of think, what would I be doing if I wasn't doing it? Just, like watching a film.
Yeah.
You know, like it's something I enjoy. I like having conversations with people and then coming up with like article ideas through those conversations, and you know what's going on in the world and everything like that. Like, you know, it in a weird way, it's kind of like how my mind works now. Like From my brother's wedding, I woke up the next day and it was like a load of drunken things with my notes of like article, like in a list I've got called article ideas, loads of just really like drunken ideas, being like, oh yeah, write about this, write about that, and I was just like,
it's so funny.
It like even in my sort of very drunk mind, I was still consciously thinking about it. Maybe it's an obsession.
That's like me with like projects. Is like I'll be sitting in bed at night, like sort of wondering whether a serial killer is going to break in at night and stab me to death. And then at the same time, I'll be thinking about like project ideas, and they'll just come like flitting in my mind, and I'll have my phone later going. Yeah. And then you look up at them in the morning, and you're like, oh God, why did I think that was like profound?
Yeah, exactly. I've honestly had it where like it's 3 a.m. I can't sleep, and I'm just lying there, and then I'm saying like, I've got it. I've got the answer.
I know what will set me free.
Yeah, this is it. This is my Mona Lisa. This is the one that is gonna.
It's your magnum opus. Dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Masterpiece.
And then I wake up the next day and it was like, rant about socks going missing. And it's like, oh.
Shit, dog.
Oh my God, that's straight fire.
Flames.
But yeah, it's bizarre because like. I think with our generation as well, it's sort of everyone is believing that the thing they enjoy doing can make them money. Like even playing video games now can make someone money.
Right.
Whereas like back in the day, people like painted for the love of painting, not to be successful in painting. You know. I mean, people still do. Don't get me wrong, but I think everyone to an extent is if they're creating something, they want other people to see it.
I sort of disagree.
Yeah.
I think it's just people realize that. Well, okay, my friend Nate and I talk about this a lot, but we talk about, especially if you're creating any kind of visual art, Instagram is like the nice way to put it. Just to make some kind of direct connection with any amount of people, you can just put it on Instagram. That in itself is like an insane revolution, especially if you have a pretty significant following.
Yeah.
Like people can just immediately see your artwork as if it's in a gallery. High quality photos too. So there's some kind of weird dualism between I can get my artwork out there regardless of whether people like it, but when I see how people like it, it's going to affect the way I do it. So there's weird ideas about like how much are we subconsciously just making art that everybody likes, right?
Yeah. Okay.
How much are we just writing things that we know that people are going to enjoy? Whereas like how you were saying in the past, a lot of the time, like they always bring up Van Gogh, right? Like he painted for 30 years and nobody bought any of his paintings ever. Like, and that's why people like him so much, is because it's like Did
he actually try to sell them though?
Yeah. I mean, I think his brother did too.
I'm going to throw it out there as well. Van Gogh doesn't seem like that together, that with it.
Oh, no.
Like, so if someone came up to me and was like, buy this off me, and they were like, you got a bad vibe from them.
Yeah,
I would probably be like, I'm not going to give this
There's probably a lot of like...
I'm not going to fuel this fire.
There's a lot of realities that people probably don't talk about.
Yeah.
He was probably a little bit off kilter.
Yeah, it's sort of like the
romanticize
like a genius not appreciated in his time, when actually it's kind of like...
He was the guy yodeling on the street.
Yeah, like, dude, if somebody came out with like the absolute best mixtape ever, but was hustling it to me outside Tesco and like being really like weird with me, I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah, and and the other thing is, like what you said, was he actually trying?
Yeah.
Probably not as hard as he could have.
Right? Yeah.
Like, I mean, these are just, obviously I don't know, and it's all circumstantial or hearsay or whatever, but there are certain like logicalities that you can kind of like push into it, where like the guy literally cut off his ear.
Exactly.
He's not gonna be the best salesman. So like, but at the same time, he still painted for 30 years without having any kind of success.
But then the whole cutting the ear off thing, maybe it's a certain type of crowd as well, but people go like, wow, commitment, passion, and all that.
Do you know what it is?
And it's like, no, the dude was quite mentally ill.
Do you know what it is?
Go on.
It's these are all in old terms, but it's the bourgeoisie requiring some kind of vitality for their own lives. So then they latch on to the extreme passion of the working class, So they go, he cut off his own ear and he's this great artist because that like gives them some sort of like zeal to it. There's something that they can vicariously
sort of like what Britain's Got Talent is doing now, where they like show the sob story before someone's audition.
It's exactly
exactly.
It's because they like, I don't want to say there's a lifelessness to being that out of touch with reality, because I think we can all agree that like the more money you get, the easier it is to just seclude yourself within.
Yeah.
Right. But.
Oh yeah.
I'm definitely this is definitely somebody else that's saying this, that I've kind of come across this idea, but like they use art in a lot of ways, whereas it used to be commissioned by emperors. Now it's like found by the bourgeoisie. They find it.
Right. Okay.
They've discovered this new vitality of the working class, and it's like, it's just like a way to sap energy from people that actually live tough lives.
Yeah.
Because when you have that much money and you have that much influence and stuff, life is just like an easy game for you a lot of the time. So you invent problems that don't really need to be there.
I mean, one thing I do find, like when it comes to the X Factor and stuff like that, maybe this is just because I'm heartless. I don't really care.
Neither do I.
I don't care about their backstory. Like if I liked the music and I was interested in whatever, then maybe I'd want to discover the backstory.
Yeah, you research on your own.
Yeah, I'm not gonna suddenly go, oh yeah, they're so amazing because their mother's in a wheelchair. It's like, what's that got to do with the music?
That's what I don't understand that either. It's very strange that...
It's all like, oh, how could they sing when also they were looking after their mother? And it's like, you can sing. Anyone can sing. You open your mouth and you practice.
What does that suggest? Like their talent isn't enough on its own.
You also
have to win them over with an incredibly like just heartstring story. Don't
get me wrong.
I don't understand.
There was one which I appreciated, but I also think it's because it makes her talent so much better. There was a girl on America's Got Talent who was completely deaf, but she had lost her hearing due to an illness. But she was still sang amazingly and played a ukulele, and and I was like, okay, but that's because she's deaf yet still is in rhythm. She walked on stage barefoot to feel the vibrations.
You can feel the music. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I thought that that's great. That's very very talented. If she had come on stage and gone, my mum's deaf, I wouldn't go give a shit. If anything, that probably helps you sing because she won't be able to hear you practicing.
What is that? Why do they feel the need to? Is
it an attempt to like personalize someone, to be like get the audience connected with certain participants? Is that what it is? Like
Slavoj Zizek, that weird like anti-capitalist thinker, would probably suggest that what's actually happening is they need to temper their talent so that you'll like them, because them being talented is reason for you not to like them.
Oh,
so right, they need to temper. They need to temper the talent with something that's heartwarming and human.
It's like people hating on success.
Yeah.
So like
especially when you're showing it against working class people, because if you're already famous and you're already making money, then it's sort of like it follows that you would have attention, right? Because you're already there. But somebody that's going to make it big, they need to have something else so that the working class pushes them up.
Yeah.
I'm using all these weird Marxist terms, but it's just an easy way to talk about it. I really don't like the word bourgeoisie.
Yeah. If anything,
one of my friends
that is like a buzzword for like if you hear someone talking about that in the pub, it's like, oh, okay. Right.
One of my friends one time,
revolution's on the way.
He told me that San Pellegrino is bougie, and I was like, it was like 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And now it's owned by Nestle.
Oh, now it's just got the foil cap on it. It's like, oh,
Jesus Christ, dude! You gotta stop using.
If anything, it's actually cheaper than a can of Coke.
Probably. In a lot of places.
Honestly,
it is here. It's way cheaper here.
Yeah. Honestly, that's
dude. I can get it at Safeway. It's not bougie. Yeah. Come on.
Nah, man, Safeway's bougie now.
Do you know what Safeway is?
Yeah, it's a supermarket, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like Tesco.
Yeah.
Well,
I think we used to have a couple in Britain.
Oh yeah, they tried.
Yeah, but it died out.
Tried to make the Beatles story a reverse story.
Yeah, well, they tried to take on the powerhouses of Tesco and Sainsbury's and
impossible.
Asda and
impossible.
Absolutely impossible.
Absolutely impossible. Concrete in Britain.
Yeah, the only ones that are doing that really well, like Aldi and Lidl, and that's just
Aldi, Lidl, and the co-ops and stuff.
Well, no, well, like Aldi and Lidl were just so much cheaper.
Yeah,
like, that it's in and like I wrote about this in the article yesterday. Like, the minimum wage is set to go up a little bit, but it's still not catching up to inflation or anything like that. Or like even the average wages aren't catching up to inflation. Now you chuck that in with rising rent prices and rising travel prices and everything like that. Of course, people are going to flock to the cheapest option, especially if it's of a okay quality. And then these companies are like, well, our local independent businesses aren't being supported, and it's like, okay, I get that, but we can't do that. Like, people without a lot of money can't go out and spend £12 on a steak or something.
Yeah.
It's like, don't get me wrong, it's a shame because I love walking down the high street and seeing independent shops. Bold Street for one. When you walk down Bold Street, and you see all the different cafes and whatever there.
That's another weird it's another weird warp on reality that you get told is like everybody wants the independent shops to remain, but the only people that frequent those shops are yuppies.
Yeah.
Like the reason why they suggest that they should stay is because it's part of the, again, working class aura of a city. It's like those were the shops that everybody supported back in the day. But now the only people that go into those shops are people that have computer programming degrees and are working for some company offshore. Like, it's like
yeah,
they're
exactly.
only kept around for people that want that mystique, right? And it's like, I love that mystique. I love going to an independent shop and getting some kind of like al fresco sandwich with, a coffee made by a guy with a hat on. And you're like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
And it is nice. It feels more authentic, but
I mean,
the reality of it is it's mostly...
The reality of it is...
It's very formulated, everything about it.
The reality of it is, like, I still probably, if I need like a cheap cup of tea or coffee or something while I'm out, I'm still probably going to go to the cheapest option.
Yeah.
Like, again, but...
I'm going to buy P&G.
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy like Rooibos from Africa or something.
I remember once university...
Is it PG or P&G?
P&G. P&G Cruises.
You should go look. That always messes me up.
What? Which one are you on about?
Well, is it PGT or is it P&G T?
PG Tips.
PG. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Cool.
I'm glad
I got lost in that. But no, I do. Like at university once when our loans came in, I remember going to a sort of what are they called? Sort of like a farmer's market place and getting like getting some nice meat and sausages and posh ketchup and all that. And then I was like, I would love to be able to do that all the time, but realistically I can't. And this is someone who's just been given $2,000 by the government, which obviously now I'm in debt to, but at the time it's just free money. But it's with every passing year it's getting more and more disgusting seeing how much debt I'm actually in.
Yeah,
because it's not like real debt because you got no one really like chasing you like with loan sharks and whatnot.
Well, I think in your case, according to Matt Wardell,
I'm not earning over the threshold to be able to pay it back yet.
Right. So in your case, as I understand it from Matt, I trust a lot of what he says, but he said that if you end up defaulting on that student loan debt, the government just takes it.
Well,
and you get the default, so you do get that mark on your record where you've basically declared bankruptcy on a loan. I know it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
But you do get that mark on your credit history. But the final outcome is that the British government takes your student loan debt and will have to pay it off themselves. And then, of course, Matt, rightly so, made the point, like, why would you be charging people for school if they don't pay their student loans? You're just going to take the debt anyway. And he's right. Like, I mean, if that's true, basically all they're doing is creating debt for themselves to have to pay.
Yeah.
Which they were going to organize into the system anyway if they made universal education free.
Yeah, but the problem is people do still pay it back, so it is like,
right,
they're still making it.
Yeah, that's interesting. If it was like a realpolitik angle to it, they'd be like, well, we could
like, even
keep
if
it not free, and then some people will pay it like morons.
Yeah.
And then some people will default, but they'll get a mark on their record.
Yeah, but as well,
that's a difference between America, is that you actually do have to pay it off.
Yeah.
Because you can't default on your student loans.
I remember hearing as well, if you live abroad for 10 years, then it just gets wiped with nothing to do with you.
See, that's another, like...
Should I move to America?
Yeah.
For 10 years?
Yeah.
And just...
It's getting weird, but...
Yeah.
We'll probably get bombed by China or something like that. In
come on for the ride. Well, saying that, Brexit isn't exactly going to be a roller coaster. Well,
I know.
It's not exactly going to be a walk in the park. It is going to be a roller coaster. Yeah, maybe I should just do that.
You just don't want to be on the East Coast, because that's where MIT is in Boston Dynamics. You don't want to be near those robots when they get released.
No.
When they gain consciousness.
Yeah, but...
It's going to be like that Black Mirror episode.
Isn't Elon Musk on the West Coast?
Yeah, but he doesn't like AI. See, that's the thing.
Yeah, but I reckon if he knows he's going to die, he's suddenly going to be like, I've planted nukes under every city. Here we go, bam. He'll just go out.
You think he's that megalomaniacal?
Oh, completely. I think he's planning the end of the world.
No, I would say it's more. I don't think he's planning the end of the world, but there is some.
He's got power too.
There's some small probability that him not being able to create a utopia will be him creating a dystopia.
Yeah. like that whole thing he had planned for LA, where it's like the cars on little trolleys.
Yeah, well, it's like a shuttle system.
Could you imagine that, but being improved to the point where it's like the government could just pick up your car and drag you down and take you away somewhere? And
oh God!
Exactly, dystopia, man. This is sci-fi. As I said, man, I there's something about Musk.
It's when you think about things like this that you're like, I really could be a conservative one day. So it's not even that hard to believe. Like, you're just like, wait. So one day, it's highly likely that a computer will be smarter than us and will have absolutely no empathy. Yeah, we should stop that. That's a very conservative view.
Plus, as well, if you're in America, you'd be able to fight off that no empathy bot, wouldn't you? Get your guns out.
No, well, the thing is, the even scarier possibility is that this technology becomes democratized eventually, and everybody has that capability to have a robot that has no feeling. And then you're like, oh, okay, so we're just gonna go to war with each other with our robots and stuff. It's like,
I bet there's.
I'm totally we are fine.
Some guy sat in a bedroom somewhere hoping that happens. Just being like, I want to see that.
It's the new Charles Manson.
I want to see the robot. Yeah, this is
it's the new Helter Skelter.
Helter Skelter update.
Robots and humans.
2.0. Oh shit! Yeah, maybe I should move to a farm somewhere.
That's what I was thinking.
Taking a load of LSD, move to a farm, and
I was thinking. So
wait for the robot.
Tanika and I drove through the Olympic Peninsula. We went to the Hoh Forest. I was just showing her around, and we got past this lake, and I was like, I gotta live in this place, because it just this beautiful lake in the middle of these mountains and stuff. I mean, dude, you just live by yourself, off the grid.
Work off the land.
You could do the website on your computer still. I mean, it'd be hard to do interviews and stuff.
Yeah, but if you're off a grid, then how will I upload anything?
Well, you go to a public library.
We're recording this in my kitchen. That's easy.
That's true.
Plus, if you're in the middle of nowhere by this lovely lake, where the hell's a public library? Miles away.
It's not that far. It's only 10 miles away.
Then you gotta get money to put in your car to drive it, and just...
Oh no. Oh god, I need a car.
Yeah, it's
You're such a scourge on the earth. The fact remains, an automobile is still the best way to get around. So until somebody comes up with a way that is energy efficient and can still get you to the grocery store, the clothing department,
drones,
the library. Yeah, I mean, I guess. But then wouldn't you just be in your house more? Then you'd just be like a lonelier person.
Yeah, but that's what technology's going for, isn't it? You just sit in your house all day and do fuck all. Like I was in where was it?
It's gonna be WALL-E, right? Like WALL-E's the best representation.
Pretty much. No.
They're just gonna put all these people on an ark because the planet's dying.
Yeah.
It'll just be all these really obese people.
No, it was
watching YouTube videos.
No, it was actually in a charity shop the other day, and this guy who was working there was this guy who was working there was like well, there's no point for the high street anymore. I just do everything online. That's how I do it. If I had my way, I wouldn't even leave my house. And I was like, really? Like, do you not like going out into town occasionally and walking about and doing like, you know? Is that not something you enjoy? Like, is your dream genuinely like everything gets delivered to your door? You sit there and do nothing, and everything's just given to you.
Honestly,
like, you know, like video games, you can download them. You know, you don't have to move. You don't have to go to a shop. You know, midnight the day comes out, you can play the game like that.
Right.
You can get your groceries delivered now. You know, like anything can be delivered. But I like going out occasionally. I like having the interactions with people on the counter and saying, you know, talking to someone and seeing other human beings, you know.
Yeah, I really noticed that because I was in the house for like a week, or close to a week, and then I went outside to go get groceries one day, and like I hadn't seen, right, like the farthest distance I had looked for like 5 days was from where I was sitting to a wall, so it was only like 8 feet. And I walked outside for the first time to go get groceries at M&S. M&S. That's rich, bullshit. Dude. I am so rich.
That's bullshit.
It was a food hall, too. It wasn't a grocery store. It was a food hall. Fuck you. It's a food hall.
Organic. Organic everything.
So then I like walked out, and the distance only changed from like 8 feet to 100 feet. And it was like seriously sort of psychedelic. I seriously hadn't looked that far at anything for like a week.
How much cough medicine did you taking at this point?
0, dude. I didn't take any of that.
Natural high.
Yeah, dude. And then, so like you're like walking around and you're seeing cars moving at speeds you hadn't seen in a while, and it's like there's something there where like you have some sort of atrophy of your natural senses if you stay in one solitary place for that long.
I had that last year when I lived by myself. I got this really, really bad flu. And like I didn't leave my house for about 2 weeks, which meant I didn't speak to a person for 2 weeks because I was like sort of just sleeping, and then I didn't really feel like talking to anyone on the phone because it was like headachy and whatever. So then when I finally felt better and I went outside and actually used my voice again, I suddenly felt really weird and actually like using my voice again. Like it kind of, because it's something you don't really think about.
I
you don't think about like the actual movements of your mouth and, you know, how to push air through, you know, it's just talking. I do too much of it. But it was so strange to like, it is. To be in that thing. So the idea of that, you know, future... I
mean, that just becomes more normal over time.
Yeah, but the idea of that future where people just, you know, sit in their house and go to, like, virtual reality worlds and do whatever and, you know, don't even have to interact with anyone, order foods, that's so, like, dystopian to me. It's horrible. Like,
yeah.
It's like an episode of Black Mirror. It really is, like, the idea that... Because as well, freelancing from home is becoming so much more popular. Like the percentages of that rising over the last.
See, that's the only thing I don't like. The only thing I don't like about Black Mirror is it's always a bit too far. Like in the endings, the endings are usually pretty lame in that show.
So it's always like the absolute worst of what's actually happening.
The reality of what's going to happen is it's going to become like the reality of being a human being who sits in their house all day is way more, I think the word's banal, and boring and depressing than it is scary. Like, it's just like, slowly you just become a meat sack.
Yeah.
You know, that...
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, I mean, Black Mirror sort of has to do that for the classic story.
Well, and they are interesting. Like, they're, you know, a lot of them are great episodes.
Yeah, like,
they're super intriguing.
The first, like, 20 minutes of every episode sort of sets the scene of the world, and... That's like, for me personally, I have to be in such a certain mood to watch Black Mirror.
Same.
Because otherwise, I'll just end up having like existential crisis.
Like a couple feet into the rabbit hole already before I want to watch
exactly.
Black Mirror.
Yeah, if I'm hungover watching that show, I just curl up and close to tears.
One time,
suddenly go, it's not worth it.
Dude, we got home one night and Tanika was like, "I want to watch Black Mirror," and I was like, "Oh, why?"
That's such a lovely night.
Yeah, exactly. She was like hoping for like a nice deep dive, and I was like,
I bet you.
"Oh, come on, dude!"
Lowering the tone.
Oh my god, it's in stone. I'm gonna have to kick your ass now. Dude. Yeah. But it's like, it definitely takes a certain mood to even want to watch that show.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, a lot of the points they make are good. They're obviously not going to happen, but like...
I don't know, man. Have you seen, the episode called Nosedive, where it's like the Instagram rating system?
I still haven't watched that one.
Oh, dude, you need to. But China's just launched an app similar to that, where your online social standing means you can start getting discounts at certain stores or like invitations to certain events and stuff. So it's like, that is actually happening.
Do you remember? Okay, that happened. I mean, obviously the only way I knew about it was watching Last Week Tonight, but it was like these people came out with an application that allowed you to rate other people.
Yeah, I think this is what I'm talking about.
No. This was in America though, and it got so much backlash that they had to just shut it down because they were receiving like death threats because people were like, "That's the dumbest fucking idea."
Yeah, but this is
happened. It's happening in China now.
Yeah, so maybe they've adopted the idea, or they just saw the episode of Black
Mirror. That's honestly like that's basically like the possibilities of what could happen with that kind of an app are exactly the same possibilities of what happened under like tyranny of communism, right? It's just like hearsay. Everything is just like hearsay and.
Yeah, I mean. As we were talking about before we came on the show, the only problem with that is if fucking someone uploads a selfie and they will suddenly be top of society standing, 150 5-star likes and all this.
Well,
whereas I upload a bit of work that I've worked hard on, done research for, hours of preparation, and, what's that like?
It's like
this podcast, it's an hour's work. I'm going to plan...
it's work, all right.
Yeah.
Talking to you.
Yeah, this won't get as much, love as some girl uploading a picture being, at lunch and it's just a selfie. It's like, you know what I mean? It's so frustrating.
I love
Those people will go straight to the top of society and I'll be rotting down in the caves of despair with all the other creatives online who
I love how many octaves your voice has gone.
I'm nearly at the end of my first
basically, I don't understand how naive are the people that create these apps, because basically all it does is it, by a large margin, prefers hot women well above anybody else. Literally anybody else. Hot women are going to destroy on that app.
I think the
hot women with generally accepted forms of body, right? The ones that men like are going to be the highest rated. And sociopaths, people that can put on an image.
But see, my theory of this is, one, men are gonna like that because they're thirsty, in the sort of they want attention sense.
Literally, yeah.
And secondly, women are so much nicer to each other online than men are. You look at the comment of any picture that a girl uploads, and it's like,
oh, you look great.
Yeah, it's like you look amazing, you look so beautiful, you're
so
a queen.
Fab.
Guy uploads a picture and it's like, you look like shit. Or it's like, stop posing, or it's just like
you should probably shave.
Yeah, exactly. You look like a dick. I don't think I've ever put a picture online and someone's gone, yeah, nice one, Ad. And if they have, it's been a bit sarcastic.
Yeah, for sure.
It's kind of been like, you look like a rock star.
Yeah. I bet I can take that one at face value.
Yeah, exactly. So...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So it'll just be a world of hot women going to 5-star clubs if this app becomes a reality.
It's hot women and male sociopaths.
Yeah.
People that know how to manipulate the...
Hot women for future
feeling.
Ted Bundys to kill.
Yeah.
That's the future of this app. And we'll just be...
Because a lot of people, seriously... I don't know. It's I don't like posting pictures of myself unless there's a reason to, in a way. Unless the setting of the picture itself is somewhat
It has to.
Do you know what I mean?
It has to be an event. Like I post selfies if I'm doing something which is more out of the blue than just going to lunch or, so brother's wedding, when I went to Canada, when I was growing my moustache because for November, because I had to update the blogs and whatever. But I won't just be like out on a Wednesday and be like, oh, selfie, It was like so. At this party I went to on Friday, again, so many people just taking pictures all the time. I looked at my phone, didn't take a single picture because that's not like me to be out and want to do that. Like in a weird way, I find taking a picture is, in my mind, it breaks up like the flow of like
it's
of my enjoyment. It's something like I have to stop what I'm doing to pose and to do that. But to some people, it's so ingrained into how they act that taking a selfie is just part of the night out or something like that.
Yeah. So you see it as a break in reality, and other people have already accepted that it's part of real. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. It's just like, I don't know, just like people taking picture of you at the dinner room table.
Yeah,
like you're trying to eat, and then you're just like,
yeah. Well, to me,
because like how often do I literally smile to show that I'm happy? It's like very rare.
Quite a lot when you're around me.
Oh. I think you're getting a mixed signal.
Yeah, you're grimacing, baring your teeth like a dog.
But it's like usually when I'm laughing, it's not like, or when I'm smiling, it's not because I'm so happy at the moment I'm in. It's like it's either because it's something somebody said.
Yeah.
More often than not, it's something that I've said.
Yeah.
That I think's funnier than it actually is. But like it's not like I'm smiling because, oh my God, these 8 people that I'm with are so great.
Yeah.
Let's capture this moment.
Time. Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's just like the act itself is literally disingenuous.
Well, I was actually thinking about it this morning. So like when I was in high school, not everyone, we didn't have smartphones for like the earlier years, like year 7, 8, 9.
Right. I think it was year 7 people started, like certain people wanted them so badly that.
Well, no. I think for me, they only like came out when I was in like year 10. I mean, the iPhone's only 10 years old, so it's what. 15.
Oh, you mean smartphones?
Yeah. Okay. And that's sort of like social media was picking up at that point.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like so many, me and my friends now, when we go back and talk about, like reminisce about our time at school, we didn't have this urge to take photos or film it or something like that. Whereas I think all the kids in this generation coming up now will film everything, will take pictures doing everything, and they nothing sort of got that, that sort of reminiscent, rosy, glassed look.
It's weird
looking back on it, because it's all sort of so, online. There it is. It's straight away.
When we were in high school, it was just barely starting to get traction. Because I remember when I got out of high school, I was thinking about getting a Facebook. Like I was thinking about it, and then I think either my girlfriend made me one, and I just like kept it or something. But like high school was all about like the rumors through text. Like everybody was texting each other, right? So like the communication was online, right, in a way, but it was more like it was still communal, where it wasn't like hosted by a website or something. It didn't have its own name. It was just you were all sort of, things would like go around and you would learn things about people, and you were like, oh shit.
But that was in a weird way.
It was just an extension of what was already going on.
Yeah,
a more efficient extension.
When I was at school, there were kids that you had no idea what they did outside of school, and now I see them nowadays on Facebook, and suddenly I'm like, oh shit, they're actually a genius. They were working on this, and it's kind of like. Whereas I think if I had a smartphone at the time and social media and was really pushing it, maybe I would have seen that he was building all this stuff. And he would have been promoting his ideas and everything like that. Whereas at school, it was just sort of, I know him through his sort of school persona.
I guess all technology is really like that. It's neutral, right? So like, yeah, you're right. I guess, if Instagram was alive back then, you would know a lot more people that were into visual art.
Plus as well, like I think I got social media just towards the end of when I started becoming of when I was really cringy. Like me as a teenager.
Oh, same.
Was like
same.
I thought I was a badass for drinking a beer, you know?
Same.
I saw the status I uploaded the other day, and it was like, got in at 4:30 a.m, played Beatles Rock Band till 5:30 a.m, I ruled, and I read that and I died a little inside. And that was me from like the age of 16, 17, and I was just like, Jesus Christ. Like,
yeah, I literally...
No wonder you were bullied.
I literally won't repeat some of the things I said online. Like, there's a reason why I deleted my Twitter.
Honestly, if I had Facebook when I was in year 7 or 8, I just... what would I even be tweeting about?
I mean, that really
Facebooking about, like, school's so lame, I hate homework, gah. Actually, I did that during university, like, damn essays, you know, but at least I could swear when I was older without thinking I was badass.
I guess, that really is the sadness of having to deal with yourself over time. Is that you don't get to collectively deal with how much of a moron you were in the past.
Yeah.
You have to deal with that yourself.
I always think, like, kids who become famous at a young age, they must look... Like, film stars especially, they must look back on old interviews and just be like, this is so horrible and so hard to watch, you know? It's like, I don't know if kids in Harry Potter do it, but they, like, grew up on screen in front of everyone's eyes. So it's...
They were pretty cute. Wait.
Yeah, but then it's sort of like... One, you can't really escape it, you know? Like, Daniel Radcliffe will forever be known as Harry Potter. And Emma Watson...
I mean, maybe it's liberating in a way because you're just like, yeah, I said it. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I guess maybe.
It's like, I don't know everything you said, so...
Yeah.
What's the deal here?
Yeah, tell me everything you said.
Yeah.
Put it on this pen.
We'll be on the same plane if you can tell me everything you said when you were 12 years old.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know, being like that young and having an interviewer going like, so what's the filming process like? Like, in your eyes, you must have just been like, oh, it's really fun, we do this, we do that, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, you're not really saying much insight, you know. I don't know. Maybe I'm too critical, but I
of the Harry Potter kids, yeah. Macaulay Culkin. I think you might have a better case there.
It's not really that much of a wonder where these like child stars start going.
Oh, not at
crazy,
all.
Is
yeah.
it? Like,
I definitely wouldn't be able to handle
they haven't really had that like time to get adjusted to normal society and to know how the world actually works, and so it's like in their mind they're just fame is sort of all they know. I mean, Michael Jackson is like the prime example, isn't he? Like,
right.
What he was he was pretty much forced into the limelight when he was what, like 6, 7?
Oh, I think he was
maybe a bit older.
Yeah,
maybe
about 10.
Yeah,
10 onwards.
I can't even really remember being under 10 anymore.
No.
Like
it's basically just snippets and flashes and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, I guess I wasn't doing as much memorable stuff, but then it's only memorable to us because we weren't experienced that. But I guess if you were working at career every day at that age, it would just be your normal thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, maybe the more memorable days to him were the ones where he just did normal stuff, you know?
Probably.
Ran around the field or something.
Well, obviously the memorable things to him were the things when he actually got to act like a child, because then his entire adult life he was basically constructing like a childhood.
Yeah, the child fantasy sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, he had like a zoo and all that, and just like, yeah.
Dreamland? No.
Yeah, Dreamland.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Well, I thought Dreamland was maybe Elvis Presley's.
No, his was Graceland.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
Was it Dreamland? God, I mean, seriously,
I think so.
he really did like pile on the evidence for being a pedophile. You know, I mean, come on, man.
I know, and the fact that like when his trial was going on, didn't he like get away with it? He wasn't like convicted properly, was he?
No, I think
an out of court settlement or something like that.
But the thing, okay, I'm not defending him, but you always need to suspend a little bit of reason here, because like everybody's always like, well, he settled it in a civil suit, and it's like, yeah, but if the people were deranged and were profiteering and opportunistic, you have to settle the civil suit with money, because they can just keep doing that the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Keep bringing it up. Do I think he did it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, definitely.
But
100%.
At the same time, like you literally can't pass that much judgment on it, because how are you literally supposed to know at all?
But I can see why people don't have much trust in the justice system.
Oh yeah.
You know, OJ and Michael Jackson, and even for a British example, that Ant out of Ant and Dec, he recently drunk driving, and caused a 5-car pileup. Now, if he wasn't like a celebrity and didn't have, the money he does and the probably connections to lawyers that he has, you could probably get the best lawyer, that guy would be going to jail, And it's like, I do find that so bad in our society. Where it's
when you mention O.J. Simpson, always remember to mention the black guy that the cops killed like the year before, because that's all part of the story.
See, I don't actually know much about the OJ story.
Well, the LA riots were the year before that.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So a lot of people think they just let OJ go off because they knew if they convicted him for that, there would be another riot, because everybody was so pissed off at the LA police because they beat one guy to death and then all the cops got acquitted.
Right.
So like,
see,
that's the other angle of like the justice really doesn't work.
I'm kind of worried about going down the rabbit hole of OJ, because I got some guests coming on this podcast maybe in the next couple of weeks who want to talk to me about the OJ story, because they think it's the best story ever, like, as in like one of the most fascinating twists and turns and all this stuff. So they're gonna fill me in on the.
Dude, can I go there for that one?
Sorry.
Can I be there for that?
Yeah, sure. I was thinking to get them in probably over next week or so.
Dude, I watched the show.
You are my co-host.
Well,
for now.
For now. Does anybody want to replace me? Preferably American.
Yeah. Can we get someone else from Seattle who doesn't mind being called Chase occasionally?
Not from Seattle. Fuck.
Well, yeah, sorry.
Doesn't mind being called Chase. Ball gags included.
I just full on replace you for my ease.
Well, I mean, I understand.
Yeah.
It is a lot of work finding somebody who has.
I just need an actor, or I just need someone to talk, and then get all this technology we were talking about at the start, and then I'll get your voice programmed in to this guy talking.
Yeah, dude.
There we go.
Damn, that's gonna be a big file size though, and you have to render that. So be prepared.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a couple gigabytes. Excuse me. Megabytes. What is this, 1980?
Yeah, I mean, I think we should probably go about closing this up.
Okay.
That's been a solid hour.
Has it?
Right there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well.
Sounds good to me.
I know. Do you want to? Because this is going out on Friday, and we got the big match tonight.
Okay. So yeah, let's talk about Man City really quickly.
Let's get a couple of predictions on the go.
So, as I understand it, Adam Chapman is a Liverpool fan.
No.
Though that comes. Let me fucking finish. That comes secondary to becoming a Newcastle fan.
Yeah.
They thought Rafa Benitez was gonna work.
It might still work.
Excuse me. I apologize for
money.
that. But they'll stay up this year. Okay. Mm-hmm. So. All right.
Like 7 points off relegation zone now.
So I would say the best rivalry in the Premier League in the last 3 years has been Liverpool Man City, because we generally beat the shit out of them, or
they beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or they're close games, right? We beat them in the run up to winning the Premier League, and then they ended up winning it anyway. When they were doing really well, we would always still beat them, even though we weren't that great.
I think people just like that both of them hate Man United, and everyone
probably
so many neutrals hate Man United as well.
Yeah.
Because they were just the sort of glory chaser club, weren't they?
Yeah, and so there is some there is a strange rivalry going on between them, where it's not this year, right? This by far is the best competition both of them have been in. So the stakes for this game are higher than they've ever been for anything.
Yeah.
I guess the Premier League in 13-14 was close, but Liverpool, even when they won, were still a point or two behind. Right? Yeah, I think they were 3 points up with a game in hand when they won that game. So they beat City, but they still had a game in hand.
Yeah,
so they were 3 points ahead. They would have been tied. Anything can happen in the last remaining 4 games. But this one is literally a quarterfinal. And Liverpool hasn't done it they haven't even gotten the knockout stages since 2009. Yeah. So it's a big deal for Liverpool. And City, it's a big deal because they actually need to get into the final.
Yeah, they haven't proved themselves in Europe, have they?
At all. And it's Pep's first one with.
Worried about becoming the new PSG. you know, all the money in the world, you can't make it in Europe.
I would love that. I would love that so much. But yeah, so games at Anfield.
Mm-hmm.
7:45.
European night in Anfield. The atmosphere.
European night.
Honestly,
every time somebody says European night, I always think Arabian Nights.
Honestly,
European nights.
Honestly, man, like
it's gonna be insane.
I do watch them because I think the lads are great. But was it Redman TV?
Yeah.
Just watching their videos over the last couple of days, you can see they are crumbling inside through nerves and excitement.
I know, dude, and that is the thing.
They're honestly going like, just get it over with.
None of them understand that like that shit is the people that take their money and put it aside to buy season tickets. All of those people are like the people on that channel, and they never realize that like if they don't chill out just a fucking bit when Liverpool goes down 1-0 and everybody's just like biting their teeth, and every time they miss a pass, everybody goes, oh. The whole stadium, you can hear it, that everybody's just like nervous as shit.
I do think it's kind of like, with this World Cup coming up, everyone's thinking, oh, England might do well because we don't expect them to do well, and it's like a complete oxymoron, you know? It's like all the time we've always like bigged them up so much, being like, dreams of 66, come on, you know? And then we like go crashing out in like the quarters or the semis or stuff like that. But this year, like everyone doesn't really expect all that much. So
which is insane.
So it might be if we go into extra time, we might actually be able to do it. You know, be able to actually pull it out, do something, because the English national conscience towards football is like we've had so many injustices. Even though when we won the World Cup, it was an injustice because the ball was not over the line. You know? Well, I don't know, science, whatever. I watched a video once where they took all the images and blah blah blah, and it was like an inch not over the line or something. So
so it could have been anything.
Yeah, exactly. Which in 1966,
it's crazy that they don't rate this team as much as they do, because it is quite good.
Yeah,
but you have Harry Kane, who I think we can all agree Harry Kane can almost do anything to score a goal.
Yeah.
Right. So when you have a player like that in your team who is, if he keeps on his track, is 3 years away from being sort of in the league of a Hazard, Messi, Ronaldo.
Well, he's already been valued like 200 million.
I know. So it's like
you got him, given he's injured at the moment, but hopefully he'll come back from that. But then also Sterling on one of the best best teams of Premier League's ever seen, and been influential in that team as well. Jamie Vardy's still good in his day, you know, like he's.
But I mean, Jamie Vardy is a player that no other team ever wants to play against.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know they say that a lot about players, but there is a reality to it where the guy literally never stops running the entire time, and every ball you pass back to your goalkeeper is getting chased, and like.
I think the problem is for England in this World Cup.
They really should start the two of them side by side.
Central midfield, we don't really have anyone. Jack Wilshere, he is fucking.
I know he really
is gash.
Your best
honestly,
center mid is Henderson. Like Henderson's good, but not like that. He's not World Cup.
He only plays the ball left and right.
No, that's not true.
No, dude.
It's not true.
His percentages do show he's like one of the highest.
He only started starting for Liverpool again in the last few games.
I know. I've never.
Have you been watching the games?
Yeah.
Do I have to bring it up?
Yeah.
Well, then watch how many passes he shoots out above head and down to the wings.
I'm just going on statistics, man.
Yeah, well, statistics are only statistics if you believe in statistics.
That's fine. I'm not biased as well. So look,
facts just turn the truth around.
Stuart,
talking heads.
You can prove anything with facts, can't you?
You can. That's the whole thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we start, let's get a quick prediction from you for tonight's game.
Tonight they win.
Liverpool win, I take it.
Tonight Liverpool win either 3-1 or 2-1, based on basically what needs to happen is they have to score 2 goals in quick succession, and then the chances of a 3rd, 4th, and 5th goal go up exponentially.
And Salah's going to get on the goal score sheet, you reckon?
He scores the last goal.
Okay.
And then
so it's going to be similar to the Palace game.
It's going to be similar to like the Porto game where the team's just playing well, and then obviously Salah's a part of it, and then it's like that guy is insane. Like even when he's not the one scoring the goals, it's like he just finds the ball in an open area and scores just to like get on the sheet.
Well, his movement off the ball drags people
away
and just opens up.
Like
All right, so
I would say
2-1 or 3-1.
I want to say 3-1, but I'm just gonna say 3-1.
It's
probably
this
2.
is going out Friday, so we'll be able to discuss.
I'll just say 3-1.
Future. I reckon it's going to be a draw. 2-2, I reckon.
Mm-hmm.
Because I reckon City, they've got too much firepower to only score 1.
Yeah.
Against Liverpool.
Honestly,
especially Liverpool's crippled defense at the moment.
Yeah, and it's weird. It's crazy because at the weekend, the fixtures are like pretty monumental. Right? You have the Northwest derbies going on. So then, like, whatever happens on the weekend makes the second leg almost like an afterthought. It's weird because like these 3 games are like probably the 3 most important games the entire season, which I know everybody says it about like every fucking game. But like you have Liverpool, Man City for the first leg at home. So Liverpool's generally has a higher probability of winning the first game. But then the second game, City probably has like an 80% probability of winning that game. But if they lose against United, it probably goes up.
Yeah.
Because then they're like, we still have to win another game to win the title.
Well, it's what I was saying to you earlier.
Yeah,
if they win against United, they win the league at United.
And then it's sort of like a come down.
It's the absolute dicking over of United, you know. Do they win it at Old Trafford as well? I think it is City at Old Trafford.
Do you think?
Yeah, if not... I think if they win it, then they sort of like take their foot off the gas a little bit. And then, I don't know. Anyway, dude, we should probably end this up. It's coming up to an hour and a half.
Okay, so what, you think 2-2?
Yeah, I think 2-2.
Okay,
I'm going 2-2. Cool.
All right.
It will be an interesting night, I guess, you know?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's going to look like we're liars when it comes out on Friday. Or one of us is just like...
Yeah, you can't really prove anything through voice. You know? Yeah, well, you're going to have to take our word for it, guys. Yeah, cool. Anyway, that was episode 7 of the Bickering Podcast. Feels good to be back. Feels good
really
to be
does.
back into the swing of things. I know this is cliche, but if you do like what we're doing, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share it.
I believe you have a Patreon.
We do have a Patreon.
Yo, Patreon!
Yeah. If you do want to support the Bickering Press financially, so we can keep doing this stuff, it would be so much help. And I would be so thankful to the end of my days. Even if it's just a quid a month, whatever. What do you spend £1 a month on? A can of Coke?
Yeah, you would get the can of Coke so that you would have more energy to do the podcast.
Exactly.
Jeez,
exactly.
The world is just an onion.
Yeah, you know. But yeah, cool. Well, cheers for coming on again, Chase.
Yeah,
and we'll see you guys hopefully next week.
Good.
Cool.
See ya.
Bye.